Thank you, everyone. And I do want to especially thank the editors for selecting the American Foundation for the Prevention of Suicide as a benefit for this reading. So I'll be reading 3 pieces, 2 poems, and a brief essay. My first is a poem, Dorothy's Hands. After a series of photographs at the Yale Cushing Whitney Medical Brain Library. In the earliest photograph from 1919, she's pictured in a hospital bed. You see her shaved head, the arms, especially her hands, held up toward the sky. How her brain works or not isn't visible, but her fingers look like long keys of the piano she loves to play. Dorothy's hair, by 1922, though short, has grown back. There's a scar on the left side of her skull. Her eyes haunt the neurologist and his camera like Dust Bowl women. But Dorothy's portrait is science, not news or art. In 1924, Dorothy's hair, cut and curled in a fashionable bob, perhaps a wig, hides the ruin of her scalp, the lift of her mouth diminished by tumors that return and return. The last photograph has no date, hardly looks like Dorothy, her music gone to another meningioma, and her hands palms out with fingers curling, the way a child says monster or wolf. This is just a brief essay, a reflection on hands, based on an amazing artwork that appeared in Intima by Megan Wu called The Surgical Stage. Hands are among the most expressive parts of a body, connected as they are with gestures of tenderness and violence. They caress and slap. They hold instruments, surgical or musical. They cradle weapons. Hands signal affection, distrust, anger. They are conduits for ideas, traveling from brain to language. They articulate the gap between thought and word. Before speech, hands gave shape to hunger and fear. They warn of danger. Handprints on cave walls are signatures or ancient algorithms linking past to future. Hands mend wounds. Translucent hands hover like birds over an unseen patient, light radiating from the center of the image, while all the hands weave back and forth, stitching skin to skin. Heartline, headline, relationship line. Hands can be read like poems. Decipher the line on a palm to understand your life. What about memory line? I think of my father's hands struggling to attach dry fly to tippet. I remember stroking my mother's veiny hands in the hospital as she died. My hands have cupped fireflies and embraced cigarettes. They plunged into the sound on summer nights, pushing into dark water as plankton streamed tendrils of light through my fingers. Hands give and take. I am here, say the hands. Look and listen. And finally, my last piece, a poem. 28 Pieces, after Tullio's Atom at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. When I write a sentence, I try to put you back together. Tullio's atom smashed into 28 large pieces and hundreds of small pieces. Here's a sentence. I don't know how many pieces of you there were. My horoscope says you don't get to have everything or everyone you want. That a lifetime of wanting is less poetic than you thought. That's not a complete sentence, according to Word. It took 10 years to fix Tullio's atom. There are fault lines across bicep, thigh, knee, ankle, shin, neck. Areas of loss were filled in. If I brush the bangs off your forehead, There's the scar where your scalp was stitched. You are an assemblage. A sentence is an imagined masterpiece, writes Gertrude Stein. I am trying to figure out the difference between a sentence and a picture, between you and Adam. The more sentences I write does not necessarily mean the more you are saved. You and Tullio's Adam are the same height. I imagine the magnum opus of you. Let him, her go, says the horoscope. In the end, 3 fiberglass pins were used to put together Tullio's Adam. Think in willows, says Gertrude Stein. So I see you as you never were. Thank you.